Hello friends and fellow gamers, MKxJUMP here, and today we're going to be checking out all the new rewards for this week's Christmas event in Idle Heroes. This is looking really fantastic, and I cannot wait to sink our teeth in. We'll be talking about how free-to-play players can get themselves sublimation chests or artifacts if that's what you want, and how to do the different reward tiers and get all those things. As well, we'll talk about what spenders can achieve, and of course, I'll be giving you a quick rundown of pretty much everything that you can enjoy this week. So yeah, let's go ahead and take a look. But before we do, let me tell you about Patreon. It's a way you can financially support me for the content I create here and get yourself access to account reviews in return. If you're interested in having a bit of one-to-one advice from me through Discord and via our Twitch streams, join us on Tuesdays and consider backing me on Patreon using the link up there. Big shout out to this week's new patrons. We have Jack Dawes and Marco Demmer. So thank you to you two for joining us over on Patreon, and don't forget to join us on a Tuesday for account reviews. However, I won't be streaming next week as of course it is Christmas, so I will be spending some time with the family, but I'll be back live on Twitch on Thursday to continue with our usual event streams, and then of course scheduling will continue as normal. Anyway folks, let's move across and take a look at this week's event for Idle Heroes. So, as you can see, we've got ourselves a brand new theme in Idle Heroes. Christmas is all around us, and you can see we have Christmas trees and presents and all things snowy and wintry for us to enjoy in Idle Heroes. Nice new color scheme as well. Pretty cool. Now, every day for logging in, we're going to get ourselves 3 heroic summon scrolls and 150 gems. But that's not just it. As well, make sure you log in and claim your Christmas sign-in prizes. Throughout the days, you'll have a chance to get one of these until you've achieved all 7 across the logins. On my first day, it looks like I've got myself 10 profit orbs. That's pretty good. And of course, you can continue through, get yourself the skin, gems, heroic summon scrolls, 3 cores of Transcendence, 30 glorious relics, and an imminent hero selection chest. On top of that, as well, when it comes to logging in, we've got stockings. So these are going to be rewards that you can claim every day as well. The first one is completely free and is going to give you 5 heroic summon scrolls and 800 gems every day this week. That is pretty good. This one here is giving you a core of Transcendence and 10 heroic summon scrolls every day this week. So that's 7 cores and 70 scrolls. And those scrolls are going to be super useful if you wanted to go ahead and complete this week's event. So that's really nice. I'm grabbing that, and that's 5,000 gems if you wanted to get your hands on it. And we have here another package that's exactly the same. It's giving you, again, 10 heroic summon scrolls every day and a core of Transcendence. So be sure to go ahead and buy this if you can. Claim those rewards, and look at that. If you do have 800 contract story gems, which hopefully you do, whether you're a free-to-play player or not, because you've been grabbing them from events that allow you to pick them up, you can go ahead and get yourself 2 cores of Transcendence, 15 heroic summon scrolls, and 5 lucky coupons every day this week. And those lucky coupons we'll be talking about a little later on, and how to get rewards from those. So yeah, if you've got yourself some contract story gems, that's going to be pretty good. Now, I could get myself some contract story gems, so I'm actually going to hold back on this because I don't want to waste normal story gems, but it's good to know that that's available. Anyway, folks, that's just some of the stuff for the Christmas event. We'll be looking at more of that later on, but let's, of course, talk you through this week's event. So first of all, we have a heroic summons event. So that means basically, if I take a look at the summon prizes, every time you use heroic summon scrolls, you'll get a point. And if you get to 50 points, you'll get more scrolls and profit orbs. 100, again, scrolls and profit orbs. To 200, you'll get yourself, as well as scrolls and profit orbs, a copy of Asmodel. Getting to 300 is going to get you a soul symbol, or at least 5 of them, so you can go ahead and do swaps. And on top of that, you also get a core of Transcendence. 400 is going to get you your selected prayer hero, which I'll mention in a second. And 500 gets you 15 glorious relics and a core of Transcendence. So what's a prayer hero? Go to the summon circle and you'll see in the bottom left-hand corner is a plus sign, and that lets you choose any 5-star hero in the game. That hero, once you've chosen it, will be the hero that you will be given as a reward from this event at multiple different opportunities. Now, there's 3 key strategies for this. Either A, chase a hero that you need copies of, whether it's for a next E5 you wanted to build, or someone that you were struggling to pick up copies of. It might be, for example, a carry, as she's a dark hero and is pretty difficult to grab, but it's a great first E5 in the dark faction for a lot of accounts. It might be a light hero that you needed. Potentially, it's someone like, let's say, Russell, if you wanted to do Light Sealand. Although that would be ill-advised, because if I was going to choose a light hero, I'd go with Vulcan. And that's because this week you get rewarded for awakening Vulcan. So we'll take a look at those rewards as well. So if you're a spender that's not really sure on who to choose, go with Vulcan copies so that you've got more available to you to awaken. And then finally, the other strategy is actually due to a little something called the Hero Lottery. Every time you get a copy of your selected hero, you'll get a full set of 4-star armor. Now, if you didn't want to use scrolls this event, what you can do is go look in your bag and see who you have a lot of copies of. Now, in my case, you can see I've got here 6 Rogans, or even, wow, 7 Ithaquas. So what I could totally do is just go down to the summon circle, press the plus, and then select Ithaqua, and then summon all those Ithaqua copies, and I'll get a ton of armor for doing that, which is a nice way of getting bonus rewards if you didn't plan on using scrolls. But of course, if you did plan on using scrolls, it's best choosing someone you want to get more copies of, because by using scrolls, you'll increase your odds of not only getting them from the Heroic Summons event, which is what this is initially going to do, but it will also allow you to pick them up from the Palace of Eternity by swapping any of these heroes you see here, and as well, you can go ahead and, as we said, get them as a reward from the summon prizes. So it's a really good way to obtain a lot of copies of one particular hero. Now, for those of you that don't know, the Palace of Eternity allows you to swap any of those heroes we saw for 10 of the crystals. You can see these Eternity crystals. But to get them, you need to go ahead and grab them from the Palace of Crystal. Every time you do 400 heroic summons, you'll get 5 of these eternal crystals, and of course you need 10, so 800 summons will allow you to get 1 swap. You can boost the number of eternal crystals you get by unlocking this stage below, where when you get to that stage in the tracker, whether it's 400, 800, 1200, by using a key which you can buy from these $100 value packages, which I will admit is a little expensive, you will be able to get yourself a bonus. Now, you only do unlock 1 bonus per key bought, so do bear that in mind. So that's going to be 15 eternal crystals if you wanted them, but of course you need to make sure you've done the corresponding heroic summon number as well. So yep, our value packages we already kind of took a glimpse at. This is giving the usual amount of gems and scrolls that you'd expect from a heroic summon event, but as well you can buy them for starry gems as usual too, so that's good to know. The hero lottery we've already looked at. Of course, if you get your rewarded 5-star, you'll be given armor. Summon prizes again we've already taken a look at, but of course finally we've got the heroic exchange event, which allows you to get a copy of Mockman, Eos, and cheaper copies of Asmodel and Aspen for 10% of their normal price here in the altar store. So that's a pretty nice way of spending your altar stones to get rare heroes like Mockman, for example, who you can go ahead and awaken in the future. So do go ahead and grab these if they were things you wanted and you had the altar stones to achieve them. Now, with all that said and done, let's go take a look at Christmas, because this is where the value is going to come into play. First of all, we have these Christmas building blocks, which you can achieve by doing various things. Either you get them for doing 10 heroic summons, you get them for spending $1 in the game, up to $700, a little wild, but yeah, stay with us. You can get them by obtaining 5-star heroes up to 30 times and awakening a hero in the Soul Temple up to 10 times. Now, for you folks, you can go ahead and use these blocks to build stuff like this Santa over here. And by doing this whole Santa, you'll get yourself a Master's Toolbox. To complete him, you need 30, 60, 90, 130, in fact, 170 of these boxes. So that might not be immediately available to a free-to-play player, or even the most optimal thing to do. And you might think, why? What is the most optimal thing to do? Well, ideally speaking, if you look at the next area, this requires you to get reindeer bells to claim any of these rewards you see. There are 3 different boxes, so which one's the best? Well, typically for you as a budget player, free-to-play, or even just someone looking to maximize your rewards, the middle one is really good to complete first. This lets you choose between a mysterious artifact, flags and relics, spiritual essence, or sublimation selection chests. Now, sublimation selection chests are really nice for improving the power of your Transcendence heroes once you've upgraded them in the Tree of Origins. So this, for me, especially if you're a free-to-play player, because this resource is really hard to get, would be an immediate pick. However, there are people who, if you do not have a lot of mysterious artifacts, might want to go with a mysterious artifact selection chest instead. So it depends on what stage of the game you're in and what artifacts you want to get on your account, and whether you feel it's ready to grab sublimation. Do expect this to be a common trend with Transcendence events that they're now giving Essence Sublimation available, but how do you get it? You need 12 of those baubles. Now, those reindeer baubles can be obtained by using 10 of the blocks. So if I went ahead and cashed in that little Santa head that costs 30, I would get 3 reindeer bells and also 20 heroic summon scrolls. You can see there's various rewards here ranging from 6-star chests to gold. There's even stellar shards and crystals of transcendence here. But the key thing is the reindeer bells, because you can go ahead and cash them in, of course, to go and finally get yourself this reward in the middle. So for those of you pretty diligent, you'll realize you need to have 12 baubles, but actually 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 is 13. So technically you need 13 baubles to get the 12 reward, because there's no way of actually obtaining 12 baubles with this event. So what you can do is go ahead and do 1,000 heroic summons. That'll get you 100 of these exquisite blocks, and then just summon 35-star heroes, and congratulations, 100 plus 30 is 130, and that will be enough to get all of these 31s here, and then the Stellar Shard package here that gets you 4 more reindeer bells. So that will take you to 13, which will be just enough to go ahead and get yourself either that sublimation chest or the artifact box. Now that trend of using these building blocks to get these reindeer bells continues throughout, and if you do complete Santa, you will get yourself a Master's Toolbox. We also have a Christmas tree, which is giving a festival limited skin if you completed that, and as well, that's giving profit orbs, you can get spirit, you can get another box of 6-star puppets, and on top of that, you also get materials for your celestial island. After that, we have the Christmas Cottage, and this is giving star spawns, which is pretty cool. Star spawn cores are super valuable, especially with the new star spawn update. And on top of that, you're getting another massive selection of rewards ranging from super wishing coins. We got dust, we got more chests, we got soul symbols, which is nice, and then of course more celestial island resources. And then finally the reindeer sleigh, which if you do complete this is giving 500,000 stellar shards. That's really nice for people short on stellar, and that's also giving you promotion stones, a luxury skin selection chest, which contains all the way up to the most recent Vesa skin. And as well, you can of course get yourself various rewards, including elite hero shards, an orange exclusive artifact, and then more stuff, including master's toolboxes to help improve your celestial island. This will only be obtainable by super heavy spenders. Really, most free-to-play players won't even complete the Santa Claus, but that's okay. Don't worry about that. If you do go through and complete it, although you will get a lot of cool value, but to do that, you do need to spend an amount of money that will give you the number of blocks you need, all the way up to $700 to truly max out this event. But if you do get a ton of reindeer bells, you're not just limited to this middle area, which offers one of these chosen rewards here up to 3 times. You can of course grab yourself 10-star light puppets if you need food, but ideally maybe even go for Cloud Island resource chests so you can get a bunch of stuff to help improve your Cloud Island buildings. But you've also got skins here as well if you needed them for your Cloud Island buildings. And further to that, on the very end, if you did go ahead and spend 30 reindeer bells, you can get another double whammy of Essence Sublimation chests, or you can go ahead and grab yourself a box containing a Core of Origin shard, including the brand new Core of Origin for Doom Terminator Vulcan. So if you were planning on building Vulcan, the new Transcendence hero, who I'll touch on a little bit at the end of the video, you might want to go ahead and grab that. But of course, there are other cores for other heroes that will work just nicely too, and you probably don't need to grab this chest, as Sublimation is also really valuable. Depends what you want. Both are really, really good. If you do complete everything here, you will be rewarded an additional 30 Cores of Transcendence, 200 Glorious Relics, another double box of Core of Origin shards, so you can grab whatever Core of Origin it was that you wanted, and in addition, you'll get 300,000 Spiritual Essence to help improve your heroes in the Tree of Origin. All nice stuff. On top of all that Christmas stuff, we've also got the Lucky Festival, which lets us use those tickets, if you remember, that we will be able to acquire from the stockings, but you can also buy them with gems if you really wanted. And by having these tickets, you can go ahead and spin in this lucky area, and it will roll a 1 to a 6 on each dial 5 times, add them all together, and the total will give you an allocated reward. So if you get 5 to 10, which will be quite hard as you'll need 1s or 2s to do that across the board, you'll get yourself a Core of Transcendence. 11 to 15, which will be a little easier, you'll get yourself a Cloud Island chest. The easiest one to grab, and probably the most common one you'll be grabbing, will be the hero chest here. That's giving you a various selection of decent resources here. Do bear in mind, by the way, all of these chests are random, so what you get is not up to you. As well, if you get to 21 or 25, you'll get yourself 2 heroic summon scrolls, and if you get a number anywhere between 26 and 30, which again is really rare, you'll need straight 5s with at least 1 6, you can get yourself Masters toolboxes as prizes. That's pretty nice if you get lucky, but typically most of you will just be hitting in the middle and getting Celestial Island resources, which, you know what, it's not necessarily a bad thing. And there's also, of course, this one here that's getting you stuff to upgrade your heroes, which again is not a bad thing either if you need it. Now that one there is totally, again, you can see I'm just getting the same thing over again, and that's because that's the most common result to keep getting that. So don't be surprised if you keep ending up with a ton of those chests. It's not unusual in the slightest. One thing I want you guys to be aware of, and I really want to stress, is there's a free daily restock of 5 of these tickets. So that's really important. You go ahead and claim that every day. And as well, be sure if you wanted to, you're purchasing these tickets. But is that worth it? Is it even worth climbing up this? If you really wanted to throw your gems just so you can get a ton of more resources, maybe it's worth it. And also, if you do get to these different stages, if you get to 100, 200, 300, 400, you actually do get bonus rewards. So if you get to 100, you get 4 extra free draws. Doesn't sound that exciting. If you get to 200, you get 4 draws and then double rewards for those 5 draws. Okay. If you get to the 300th drawing, you get 3 times rewards on all 5 kinds of gifts of luck. That's quite nice. And if you get to the 400th draw, you get a 10 times reward on all 5 kinds of gifts of luck. But it's hard to get to your 400th draw. And that might sound like really cool value if you can go ahead and get the multipliers in there. I mean, I suppose it could be, but that's really deep in, and that's going to cost you 40,000 gems if you were even going to get 200 of these. And we're not even talking about 400, right? 200, that's only taking you halfway up there. So that's a massive investment for your gems. And for most people, it's just not worth it. Just go with the free ones, give them a spin. If you get more from stockings, great, spin those too. And you can also pick up some more from this, the Christmas package relay. And this is allowing you to spend various amounts of money to get yourself different rewards. So this first one's $5. That's going to get you gems, scrolls, and 5 lucky coupons. But on top of that, you also get this, which is heroic summon scrolls, more cores, and of course, lucky coupons on top of that. For an extra $1, you get yourself more gems, more scrolls, and 5 more lucky coupons, and then $15 for even more gems, even more scrolls, and even more coupons. But if you do that for free, you'll also get thrown in. It's not really free. You have to buy the previous one first, but you know, you'll get yourself 1,500 gems, 12 cores of Transcendence, which is really nice, a Skin Shards package, and 10 lucky coupons. Keeping on going, $2 is going to get you 500 gems, another 5 cores, and 5 lucky coupons, and then keep on going. $20 will get you 2,500 gems, 10 cores of Transcendence, 15 lucky coupons, and the Christmas gift stocking, which is the stocking you can see on the end here. That is giving you, as you can see, a lovely amount of lucky coupons. You get some heroic summon scrolls every day, so that's 20 every day, so that's 140 across the week, and also 200 contract story gems. And then if you keep on going even further, you get free rewards here. That is Artifact Essence, you get a chest, and you get 15 lucky coupons. And at the end, you get yourself 5,000 gems, 100 glorious relics, another 15 cores. So that's a total of 45 cores you're getting from this. 500,000 Stellar Shards, the brand new skin for the new Transcendence Vulcan, which I think looks pretty cool. It's like a Lego Gundam or Jaeger suit from, or Jaeger, whatever they're called, from Pacific Rim. Go fight some kaijus or something. Looks pretty cool. And then finally, of course, 30 lucky coupons as well. The grand total of this will come to just over $92. It's a little wild, but hey, you know what? Go ahead and spend it if you need it, and you'll pick up yourself some pretty cool rewards. And you are getting a lot of value for this, but that is a huge investment on a mobile game, I know. But for some people, they're used to spending that kind of money to get themselves some rewards. On top of this, we also have the Transcendence Fight, so you can find people on your friends list or across the different game modes, including Interdimensional Arena, Trial of the Champion, Crystal Crown League, who have the new Transcendence hero, along with Star Alchemist Holmes Young, Mystic Fairy Freya, Star Swordsman Mockman, Lord of Death Azrael, and Blood-Tide Queen Arania. If they have that, all you have to do is fight them, and you'll get yourself some Elite Hero Shards. And more importantly, if they have the Blood-Tide Queen Arania and the Doom Terminator Vulcan on that team, you'll get yourself 5 cores of Transcendence. If you yourself have Doom Terminator Vulcan and you complete 10 battles, you can get yourself an imminent hero selection chest. How cute. And on top of that, if you complete a battle with all the Transcendence heroes in the event involved, you'll get yourself 100 glorious relics. So that's nice, I suppose. It's just a good way of getting 5 bonus cores of Transcendence, really. That's the way you want to look at it. And if you want to know how you can find someone who has these heroes, be sure to join our Discord, as there will be people in our community who do have these that want to help you out. And as well, I believe Barry is doing something to support you guys too. So go ahead and check out his channel if you haven't already. And the final thing for this event is the Soul Awakening Gala. Basically, if you awaken copies of Doom Terminator Vulcan or Vulcan, by the way, it has to be Vulcan. It's really important. It has to be Vulcan copies. You will get yourself points depending on the awakening. Very standard for a gala, but because it's only Vulcans and Vulcan is rare, you're actually getting better rewards than normal. So if you get to 15, you'll get yourself a Transcendence chest. If you get to 30 points, you'll get yourself a Transcendence chest 2, which contains all of the new ones here. If you get to 45, you'll get yourself an Imminent Hero Selection chest, which contains every hero in the game. And finally, for 60, you can have, if you want, a Mysterious Artifact Selection chest. But be warned, this does not contain the new artifact. And this flag box, you could also choose that too if you wanted. On the topic of the new artifact, you actually can get it from this event, from the baubles. You can see it's actually available here. So that may sway people over to choosing that instead of Sublimation, but it really depends on what your priorities are as a player and whether you do really need to test out the Gilded Purple flag. Heck, you might even choose something else from here because you're an early game player that needs to get their melodic strings. Either way, it's up to you what you choose. I think it's best to go with Sublimation, in my personal opinion, but I know for some people artifacts are still really important because you don't have quite an established arsenal of artifacts quite yet. But overall, that is the event, and the final thing to look at is the new Transcendence hero, and answer the glaring question, is he good? Well, he is very complicated. His active skill has many levels. He gains bonus damage for Concentrated Rays, Magic Explosion, Freezing Pierce. He also has a chance to CC opponents. He slows them down. Very exciting. And as also, he gains his additional bonus depending on how many of these charged energies he's used. He'll be able to go ahead and use Annihilation Pursuit, which allows him to deal a ton of damage to opponents. And then that only triggers when he's used 10 of those layers. Now, if you go ahead and look at his upgraded skills, he deals way more damage once he's upgraded in the tree, and his sublimations are wild. I'm not going to cover them now, as that's not the intent of this video, but do know he looks really, really cool and very, very strong, and I actually really do want to build him on the VIP series. And on top of that, his tenants are pretty good as well. But they're a little funky for early game players, but late game players might enjoy the fact that there's an Asmodel the Dauntless as an option, and Eos. Not the best tenants in the world, but pretty interesting nonetheless. Tenant spot 3 is a little miserable as it's 2 assassins, so the scaling's pretty bad. That's Azrael and Tussalago. And finally, we have tenant spot 1, which is Mockman and Vulcan. Overall, though, he is a very, very cool hero, able to clear Sealand very easily in his Transcendence form, and I cannot wait to go ahead and test him myself when I do build him on my account right here. And you will see massive changes happening to this account very soon. So if you're curious what's happening on my account, or at least my main one, go ahead and check out the VIP series and hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss an upload. Overall, though, the Christmas event seems really, really fun. You can get a lot of free stuff. There's a chance to get yourself an artifact or a sublimation chest. Free-to-play players, all you have to do is spend 1,000 scrolls to go ahead and do that. Make sure you summon your heroes, even less if you decide to awaken heroes. Don't forget to grab all your crazy rewards for logging in every day, and of course the bonus rewards from the free stockings. And yeah, just hopefully you can have a good event, choosing a good prayer hero, and get yourself some really cool rewards this week. Next week's event preview is Imp's Adventure. This is looking pretty fun, and it's going to be a super boosted Imp's Adventure with added rewards, as of course it is going to be New Year. So hopefully there'll be some nice additional bonuses to enjoy next week as well. Do make sure you've got some gems left over after this event to use in Imp's Adventure. Either way, let's look at the Shelter mission. We've got Forkis and Drea. There's a Waldeck, a Freya, and Azrael, and a Fiona. Not the best heroes to have in a Shelter mission, but by no means the worst. A lot of good tenants there. Potential Transcendence hero in Azrael, and Waldeck and Freya are just pretty good, and Freya is also a Transcendence hero. Forkis and Andrea, also pretty solid tenants, so not complaining about those heroes being in here. So folks, that's it for this week. I hope you guys get a ton of rewards this Christmas. Good luck, and do consult this video again at some point during the week if, of course, you need to keep up to date with what's going and it was a little overwhelming, and hopefully my explanations were pretty good. I'll see you next time. Don't forget to leave a comment down below, hit that subscribe button, and of course, have a fantastic week, and happy idling.